All right, it's time to finish FF7. We have made it to the kind of the core of North Crater, the sort of core of the planet where it bubbled up after the calamity from the sky came 2,000 years ago. Where are we? Sephiroth is in the core of this because he has summoned Meteor using the power of North Crater, and when Meteor hits, he wants to be ready to be right in the middle of the life stream to take power of it all, take control of it all. Genova, and now we get, I guess, the true and final form of Genova. Very weird looking anime. It's coming. Very strange, right? Not the intimidating presence we might have expected. Just a weird decision from the game here. Alright, let's use a limit break. Multiple targets here. You can see Tifa's added cut doesn't get the Mega All effect. I didn't know that was the case. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Alright, let's use more death blows. And because all is only level 1, she only hits it once. I don't want to waste much time with Nanaki, so he's just gonna sit here. I guess he could defend. Let's see if Tifa can take out Genova. So Genova's now doing a countdown. If she reaches the end of the countdown, alright. Tifa can take out Genova. 38 seconds used, 22 seconds left. And I wasted some time with others attacking. So, yeah, if that countdown reaches 0, Genova casts Ultima, or Ultima, however you want to pronounce it. It's clearly supposed to be Ultima, but as a kid, I always did Ultima. Because, like, ultimate, right? Cool graphics here. Again, I like it when they combine doing fancy graphics with the absolutely stupid character models. I think that looks very funny. So every time they do this, I think for some people this is a like, but you almost had good graphics, and for me it's like, yeah, keep going. This is great. Keep inserting these just horrendous character models. They're fine. I mean, they're obviously good for the era, but with these stupid hands and all that, keep using those. Light. A light. Is this? Is this light holy? Ah, yes, the other important part of the story that I forgot to say when listing story elements last time is Eris dying while summoning holy, essentially. Ow, damn, man. Barret? What? So everyone's together again. Ugh. We have our second meeting in the present with Sephiroth. And final meeting, for what it's worth. Ugh. Is this the true power of Sephiroth? My body. I can't control my body. Ugh. Yeah, he seems powerful. My front legs, my hind legs, my tail's about to tear off. It's definitely not good. He's way out of our league. But is he out of Tifa's league? I don't know if I can go on. Cloud. Ugh. There. It's there. Cloud? Holy. Holy is there. The holy is shining. Eris's prayer is shining. Holy. Eris. Holy Eris. It's not over yet. This isn't the end yet. Alright. Some of the dialogue at the end of this is very unimpressive. Alright, so we're going to, of course, bring together our dream party. And I don't think we need to make any changes, but we may as well heal. But this is a multi-party fight. Let's go, everyone. Yeah! We're not going to lose. Or is it? Eris is here. Everyone is here. Cloud is here with us. There's still many things for us to do. I'm not giving up. Everyone gets kind of their final lines of encouragement. I'm going to see it through to the end for our future and for that of the planet. FF6 is definitely the game in the series that handled this the best. One of those, everyone in your party gets a line, and then the villain goes, "You sound like chapters from a self-help book." which shows incredible self-awareness about how these lines sound, and I think is one of the great moments in the FF series. This game does not. I understand now, Grandpa. This is my mission. I won't let the life stream or the life of the planet wither away. Eris's memories, our memories. We came to tell you our memories. Come, planet, show us your answer. And Sephiroth, to the settling of everything. Probably not complex to do this kind of swirling shimmering of the graphics, but I think a cool effects nonetheless. Leading into this first form of Sephiroth that, definitely looks like Sephiroth. Definitely what I think of when I think of Sephiroth, right? Alright, he missed Tifa. Will we get a counterattack? No, sadly. Now this part's kind of weird. There's going to be a lot of like flashing of lights, and it's going like form changing. And like much of FF7's monsters, I'm sure you could figure out what this is. And also, it's something where if you did, if you were like fighting this at length, you would probably start figuring out its patterns. But this fight has never been one kind of that asked enough of the player or was complex enough that I thought any of that was necessary. But I think it will waste enough time with its stuff. I think Bizarro Sephiroth, which is the name of this fight, and with its healing, is going to be able to survive Tifa's 60 seconds. So what are we going to do after the 60 seconds are up? Now, it's healed like 12,000, so that hit is already an amount it's healed. Maybe I should be hitting the head. That might be the healing. Now I only have one target I can hit, it looks like. Really wants to hit Tifa. But if it heals 6,000 a turn, it's going to be hard for Tifa to outdamage it. I think it's going to survive. I think this is how powerful Sephiroth is. He can hold off Tifa for 60 whole seconds. Incredible work. Truly the most powerful thing in the universe. Besides Tifa's fist, obviously. Yeah, he did it. Shout out to Sephiroth. Okay, let's show off some spells. Let's cast Ultima. Let's cast Freeze. And what can you do that's fun? Cast Magic Breath. I guess Tifa's in let's cast more Deathblow mode. But oh, I forgot we have Quadra Magic. So W Magic will cast Ultima 4 times. Forgot about that. Great job me setting up for this. Good way to clear multiple targets. Alright. Now, technically, if Sephiroth just went down here, then we did do it before Tifa's 60 seconds actually officially finished. But I don't think we did. We took out some portions, yeah. No, Sephiroth made it past the 60 seconds. Now we have to fight proper. We don't do that. That's not us. Freeze is pretty powerful. So I guess at this point we'll just like spam our most powerful magic effects. Okay, that looks like we did it. But it survived Tifa's 60 seconds. Maybe I should have cast with some other characters, but you want to give Tifa the chance to do it, right? This is the great test. Close though. Close. There was something else that survived the 60 seconds. Oh, the stupid Proud Claude. Proud Claude survived 60 seconds, and maybe something did early as well when we had just set up the combination. I feel like there was something, but it might have been just like a random enemy. So, oh, and Hojo did because he had the multiple forms to waste time. So Proud Claude, Hojo, and Sephiroth are the only 3 things, because Genova didn't come all that close. There were 22 seconds left there. And we get the angel form of Sephiroth. This one looks a lot more Sephiroth-like, One-Winged Angel, classic song. If you go listen to the OST here, the soundtrack. Um, Luckily, it counts as different forms, so we can properly play Tifa only. But this dick walls himself to reduce physical. That reduces magical damage. What an idiot! Like I'd use. Oh no, it does reduce physical. It includes magical and physical. So he reduces damage from Tifa. He's a genius. Sephiroth's too strong. Oh, you can learn Shadow Flare here, but it's kind of irrelevant to actually anything in the game. But pretty powerful effect. Because you cannot leave this fight. There's no new game plus or anything. So if you learn it here, you don't get to keep it. You can never see it, your menu filled up and see that enemy skill has been mastered. But he's very powerful, He's doing damage. Now, he knows not to attack Tifa. He's no fool. Right, what's he got for us next? I think that's not a move, it's just him setting up for the next thing. So I want to throw out Big Guard. And my thing froze for a sec. Alright, Pale Horse is one of his two huge attacks. It has a bunch of status effects, I think, attached, but those don't really affect us because we have ribbons on everyone but Tifa. Alright, given that Tifa is out, let's do our attacking with other characters. But again, Sephiroth survives Tifa. Very smart to use wall. Man's a genius. What can we do? Here's Supernova. So this is the huge, exciting animation, and let's see it. So the heavens fade away, and we see the galaxy, and we see a sort of like kind of astral chart-ish thing. Some language, some calculations, some formulations. Clearly a meteor-like attack, even though it isn't meteor, coming from way outside the solar system. This is so over the top, so unnecessary. Pluto, wrecked. Saturn, wrecked. First of all, apparently this is in our universe. Like, this must be Earth, right? Which makes no sense because it's obviously not Earth. But okay, whatever. Saturn, not as fully destroyed. Jupiter, permanently carved a hole in it. And then wrecked. Solar system's going to look really different in the aftermath of FF7. Why don't the sequels talk about this? How there's like, no more Pluto, no more like anything. And now it's this, rolling mess of death. It is so much bigger than Mercury. Venus. We're now coming from the other direction, right? Yeah, so Earth is done. This is way stronger than Meteor. And how much damage does this attack do? This universe-ending power that he just casually uses and also doesn't hurt him at all. Well, it moved fast through the planets, but when it gets to us, it starts moving slow, And does pretty enormous damage. Yeah, Tifa's damage no longer what it was. Alright, I guess we gotta get a Mega Elixir up again. I don't know what I queued up. I think I queued 4 Ultimas here, but that's not gonna do too much, especially when he has wall still up. There is D-wall. We could have had a materia that equips that. I just realized it is possible we lose this fight. I don't think we should if I'm like aware with Mega Elixirs and stuff. But Sephiroth is stronger than I remember him being. Maybe I usually come here higher level. I know he was tricky in my solo Tifa. Like I had to have a bunch of HP pluses, and stuff, but I gotta be ready to heal here. But not with tifa. Of course not with tifa. Okay, that's gonna hit her, sure. But luckily Cloud has W item, so Cloud can Phoenix down her and Mega Elixir. Sephiroth comes back to Earth. He's no longer using those moves. He's back to like Shadow Flare and physical attacks. Alright. But Tifa, because we have the Master Fist now, oh, he gets rid of our stat boost. Okay, that's fine. Oh, I should get Big Guard back up. Tifa still has the boost from having sadness, right? That's one of the bonuses of the Master Fist over the Power Soul. Is we're still getting like 6,000 a turn out of her, which is significantly better than we would be otherwise. But we can double cast Ultima for 8,000 as well. So we have some access to damage. Dean, I don't remember what this does. What's this? Alright, nothing too scary. Got a counterattack on that one too. Probably better to just use a Mega Elixir here than risk taking hits when not full. I'll leave Cloud's move up in case we need to like Phoenix down and Mega Elixir. Double Ultima is way stronger than a limit break here. Probably shouldn't use Cloud's move, but felt like it. It's just so funny to me we're still on the level 2. That's good damage. Yeah, we did it. Congratulations. Yeah, Sephiroth, fairly powerful final boss. You know, we could see how Tifa melted like absolutely everything before this. And Bizarro Sephiroth outlasted Tifa, but like couldn't threaten us, right? Couldn't do serious damage. Final form Sephiroth, or this form of Sephiroth, I forget what its name is. Technically, it's not the final form, but Safer Sephiroth, that's the one. Legitimately powerful, and like, if I came in with the same party but without like stronger spells, without the Mega Elixirs, without Tifa being an absolute rocket, you can see why this fight like legitimately can pose challenges. I think actually, despite the games getting a reputation for being fairly easily, it's partially because the people who've played FFs have played so many of them. But when you give someone who's like not used to this genre of game in FF, I think the final. I've seen people struggle with the final bosses of all of FF7 through 10. FF8 was the first I played, and I struggled with the final boss. I also struggled with some mid-game bosses that are not a problem unless you haven't figured out how junctions work. But I hadn't figured out how junctions work. So, you know, they were a problem. This is all we could do. Wait, what about Holy? What's going to happen to the planet? That, I don't know. Isn't the rest up to the planet? You're right. We've done all that we could do. Alright, everyone. It's no use thinking about it. We'll leave all our worries here. Let's go home, proud. We did it. Or did we? What happened? I feel it. What? He is still here. Still Cloud? He's laughing. Cloud. Now, people disagree on this scene. Is this actually happening? Or is the Cloud that whirled up, that's obviously the mental Cloud we've seen, is this Sephiroth still physically existing? Or is this Sephiroth in Cloud's mind? And I think pretty clearly from the graphics here, from the graphic of him swirling out of himself, from the fact that this is going to be a one-on-one fight, from the fact that there is Genova cells in Cloud. I see this as Cloud purging himself of Sephiroth, right? Purging himself of Genova, rather than as an actual physical battle between the two. It's Sephiroth waiting for him in his mind. And that's a pretty important thing to get rid of, because we've seen the consequences of that. Now, this one, you'll notice my stats are a bit different. It's changed my materia. It also gives you Cloud's level 4 limit break. And you can see my limit is teasing its way forward as we get this showdown look. And so we're going to use omnislash. You can also wait for Sephiroth to attack you, in which case, like, it can do an automatic counter. And a single counter will also defeat Sephiroth. And that's funny, but it's a dumb way to end the game. Cloud going off with his best move is, I think, the right way to end FF7, but not the funniest way. And that's about, I don't know, it's like 16 hits maybe, of about 4,000 to 8,000 depending on if it crit. Let's assume it crit about 3 times. So he did about 3,000 times 13 is 39,000. 8,000 times 3 is 27,000. Getting around 66,000 he did there. Not including like the hundreds, which probably add up to a decent amount too. So I would guess he did a little over 70,000 there. You done it, Cloud. You did good. You did good. It's weird to be proud of a, video game character that, of course, the video game is designed around, like, them succeeding in the end. But Cloud went through a lot more than I think most characters go through, because what he ended up having to resolve was not Lifestream, was the external stuff that, like, every main character has to resolve, but was also a lot of internal stuff. And a lot of main characters will get internal stuff to resolve, but it won't always work, or it'll feel like a minor part. So you see, he's not, he's a bit below her, but he's not way below her, and it just fell a bit. Like, he's where he was when he collapsed, right? He's physically, he didn't move anywhere else. He's just a little lower because it started collapsing. I think I'm beginning to understand. What? Do you need to talk about this while we're hanging here? An answer from the planet, the Promised Land. Man, I think I can meet her. There. I could not pull myself up with one hand. Yeah, let's go meet her. Oh, look at Tifa not being threatened by it. Good job, Tifa. Also, I cannot imagine being able to lift myself on a surface with one arm. Obviously, this is far from the most insane feat of strength. For instance, we just took survivable damage from something that basically destroyed the galaxy hitting us. Hey, where is everyone? Hey! Glad you're all safe. They all seem to be safe, too. But now what are we gonna do? Holy should be moving soon. And that means this place will. Oh, Lady Luck, don't fail me now. Sid's gonna miss that cigarette. Luckily, we have our level 20 plus pilot ready to get us out. I like the ending of FF7. It's from the era of endings that, like, don't drag on and on. They kind of resolve stuff and give you a few minutes with the cast, but not any more than that, and that at the most. And also, it's weird. I just feel like, oh, come on, Highwind, you can do it. The emotional thrust of the game for me happened so much earlier. Good job, Sid. It's funny how the Highwind has, like, multiple changes to the ship that happened. If you just like press the emergency thing, it becomes an even better spaceship each time, or airship. You think it would just go right to better airship, but a lot of backup systems there. Hey, it's Calm. What's going on in Calm, I wonder? The Flower Girl? So apparently we did take the full 7 days because Meteor is here. Meteor is coming. Looks to me like it's right over Shinra. Obviously, that's why we're getting the viewpoint of Calm. Yep, sorry, not Shinra, Midgar, I meant. And I would have thought it would just crash into the planet, but apparently it likes to send down like electric storms first. Well, if nothing else, we know Midgar will never be the same, and that Shinra will never be the same, though I guess that was already clear. And we have Holy. So we have Holy versus Meteor. But we also know the planet's part of this, right? It's can Holy and the life stream stop Meteor, and do they want to, right? Or not so much do they want to, but do they want human presence, right? What's good for the planet? When Holy comes, it will determine what's good for the planet. And can it stop Meteor? And it sure doesn't look like it can. Man, the high wind, you've changed. I forgot how different it looked. Much more sort of a modern airplane look now. Wait a damn minute. What's gonna happen to Midgar? It's not just Midgar, buddy. We can't let that happen. I had everyone take refuge in the slums. But the way things are now, it's too late for Holy. Meteor is approaching the planet. Holy is having the opposite effect. Forget Midgar. We've got to worry about the planet. Piggy Man bringing truth. I don't think, despite our newly teched up airship, that we could just fly off to another planet. What's that? That, my friends, is the life stream. And I believe Bugenhagen did tell us that the only hope was Holy and the life stream. What the hell is that? Life stream. Weird to show the viewpoint from Calm. Like, I guess that's the place that can view Midgar, and you can show like random pedestrians or people go, it's coming. But it's funny to have Calm as like not the spot focused on, but the viewpoint for the final scenes. Like, feels like such a random place. But it's because Midgar is very important, and it's a viewpoint to Midgar. Now, the live stream here I don't think looks as cool as Holy or Meteor do, but what can you do? Maybe it's not all about looking cool. Maybe that's the big takeaway of FF7. That's the core of the story. It's also a little odd, just story construction wise, to have the most dangerous thing in the universe. Like, Sephiroth is the villain, but Sephiroth sets off something more dangerous than Sephiroth himself, something that can like end the world without Sephiroth, right? And That often happens in structures. Hello, Eris. In structures of story where like they summon a demon or something from another dimension, and that thing is more terrifying than they themselves are. And that's it. Now, there is a post-credit scene, as there is in many FFs, so we have to wait for the post-credit scene. But I guess I'll keep going on the tangent I was going off on, where the final we defeated one of the big threats, the person who summoned this, but Meteor itself is the end of the world, and we're left with a moment where we see Eris and we see the life stream joining Holy, and we know that has a chance to work. But we also know this means even if it does work, and we're shown Eris at the end, so we're supposed to believe in it, right? We're supposed to believe this is going to work and stop Meteor. But we haven't seen it, and we're now in the credits, and we haven't seen it. So we're left with, we believe that Holy and the life stream stopped Meteor, but we don't know it for sure. And so it could be that we defeated the evil villain and the world was destroyed anyway, which is a strange place to be left if you turned off your console right now. Very strange place to be left. But there is another ambiguity, and after we get through the credits, that second ambiguity becomes more relevant. I'm going to fast forward here. I apologize if you wanted to, specifically see names. The FF7 team is pretty legendary, though I don't know a ton about the not super top famous people. And I know very little about them too. I've just, played other games they were part of. I love FF7. It's a great game. It is my favorite FF. It's possible that changes someday or varies, but I think at this point it's pretty locked in part because modern FFs have little to no appeal to what I want out of a game. That doesn't mean they have no appeal to others. There is stuff where if people tell me they like it, I think they're bad. If someone tells me I love Ayn Rand or whatever, I'm gonna think a lot less of that person. But there's also stuff of if someone likes something I don't like, okay, they have different tastes. Who cares? Being a kind of moral adult is not being oh, they like something different. That makes them bad or inferior, right? It's being able to, and that doesn't mean everything they like different is equally fine or equally good, right? But we should be able to separate the things that matter from the things that make people happy, which obviously does matter quite a bit, but different things make different people happy, and that someone else works differently on that front. There's the Sephiroth choir for a song you did not hear here, but it's very important. But finding different things enjoyable is, for the most part, fine and good, and not a problem. That said, I think modern FFs are pretty bad, and people that like them probably don't share a ton of taste with me, right? There are things I like in them, there are things in FF12 and FF13 that I have some affection for. Not very much. Actually, more in FF13, which surprised me, because when I played FF13, I was very frustrated. But looking back at the two of them, I have more moments I can think back of fondly in 13, which really surprised me. I did not feel that way when going through it, but I definitely feel that way now. But that said, so yeah, FF7 almost certainly won't ever be passed for me. If it is, it will be because I've just completely fallen in love with even more than I have already with FF Tactics. But I think the character arcs here are stronger and more complete and more compelling. And my favorite games will always be ones where I love the people. I tend to think of myself as having 3 games in contention for my favorite game of all time. FF7 is the one FF in that mix. There's 2 RPGs, 1 non-RPG. There's some other games that are very close. I've played so much Resident Evil 4. whenever I'm like bored and want something enjoyable to do, I will just like play through Resident Evil 4 again and have a great time. It's not in my top three, but it's very close. But the reason it will never be in my top three is because, like, you know, it was doing some vaguely original things at the time. But Leon is a very like stock glib hero, right? There's nothing to be emotionally invested in there. Like 500 years later, clouds. That's not showing us much, but I think it's kind of cute to show the epilogue beginning with clouds, given that our main character was named Cloud, and we see the world still exists. The world was saved. This is definitely Nanaki and children. You know, we know Nanaki at however old he was like a 16-year-old. That wouldn't be enough of a lifespan that we'd expect Nanaki to necessarily live this long, but I'm very confident this is supposed to be Nanaki. Um, I guess it could be a descendant, but it's telling us Nanaki did find a mate and did breed, and you know the species continued. Do we ever get a name for a species? I'm actually not sure we do. And we see the overgrown wreckage of what was once Midgar. And the planet looks a lot greener, bluer, and healthier. And that's the end, which leaves us with another ambiguity. Because we know the life stream got rid of that which wasn't healthy to it and to the planet. And, you know, that meant, of course, Midgar went. But does that mean humanity remains? That's the question Bugenhagen left us with. And the game doesn't want to answer that. It's not interested in giving us that answer. I think most people come out of it thinking, yes, they do. But the game doesn't actually tell us. And I think that is in part because it is just a much more environmentally radical game than it is often taken credit for. Where, you know, people often describe this as like asking the tough questions. I don't think this is all that tough a question. Like, is humanity good or bad for the planet? In most obviously point toable ways, it is bad for the planet. In some, it is good, right? But in general, having one species so dominant has meant a lot of other species have died out, and a lot of resources have died out, and you know, there's a ton we can point to. The climate, obviously. So I don't think that's a very big or difficult question, especially because unless you're like really far out there eliminationist, no one with any power or ability to approach power has any interest or attempt to get rid of humanity. So the question then, so then it's not, it may be like a big question, but it's not a very interesting question. The question is what we do to like mitigate that and make that less so. But it is a bigger question in this game's world, right? And where you look at how humanity is acting in this world, this extracting the environment for profit, it's a more interesting question in the universe of their world where there actually is the question of the end of humanity. Still not that interesting as well. And I think almost everyone playing this is rooting for people to continue. And because we have a series of sequels that I do not like at all, we know humanity does continue. And the ramifications of this are people got geostigma, a disease from the life stream going everywhere, somewhat like how Cloud got sick after going in the life stream, that lots of people get versions of that. And that's something they're dealing with. And that seemed a weird direction to me, right? Because the way the world is broken in FF7 is around extraction of power for profit, or you know, create fear in people, the Rufus motto, or control everything. And you're given some problem that doesn't quite work on those fronts, the geostigma. So it makes it thematically kind of dissimilar in the other games. feel I'm not saying any of this very well today. So we beat FF7. Next time we will go back and try to figure out weapon, specifically Emerald weapon, and possibly Ruby, but probably just Emerald. And we'll call it here. I really hope you enjoyed playing through FF7 with me. I really wanted to kind of get down my thoughts as I played it, just so that if sometime in the future I don't feel like playing, but I want to be ensconced in the FF7 world, and in the FF7 world in a way where it's remembering my thoughts as I played, I would always have this here for me. And so maybe this at some point will be a treat for me. That's kind of the main point of it. But if you came through here with me, I really hope you appreciated it and share the love of this really wonderful game.